Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for being here. If you like my channel, please subscribe, watch the video. I do offer messages. I channel messages from Spirit. I do use cards, oracle cards, and tarot cards, just as to confirm what I'm saying, seeing, hearing, feeling. I am an empath, a true empath, and that's just my journey. So I am also excited again today. I'm going to use these stones for a while. These stones are not stones completely. They are pyramids, but they just absolutely are stunning, and the energy within them has really helped resonate the messages. So pile number one, take a good look, whatever you see, if you like. Pile, this is the one I see the face, and it just actually, so pile number one, what I'm seeing in this today is wishes being sent out, so intentions being set. So I'm going to say at this point for pile number one, there is something about intentions, okay? Pile number two, wow. Pile number two, this is stunning as well, stunning as it gets. You can actually see all the work that Sherry puts into this. These are from Sherry Bowman from Freedom's Wind. Her products are amazing, and I know she's on Etsy. The copper in this one just strikes me, and copper is such a great conductor of energy. A reminder of something else within that, and maybe I'll figure it out. Pile number three, this is just such a delicate, calming stone, and the pieces inside of it are very spectacular. So that's pile number three. Okay, I'm going to be using quite a few decks. I'm just going to follow what Spirit is saying to me, and we're going to get started. So 240. So pile number one. Hello, pile number one. First thing I'm going to do is start the reading with pile number one. What does Spirit want to say? Okay, so pile number one, at this point in your relationship, you're almost feeling as though you're stuck, you're not going anywhere, or that it's taking too long, which makes you feel very stuck. And this is in the position of the resistance. So what are you resisting? Is the process. You're resisting the, oh, that's why this is so important. Is you haven't clearly set your intention. And so where you're feeling stuck, you're not really stuck, and you feel like there's a lot going on, and perhaps you may be sinking, and that, you know, things aren't coming together, any of those things. So instead of, you know, becoming calm and uniting with the energy within yourself, empowering who you are at a standstill where you should be moving forward, and forward with the knowledge that we get out of situations when we are calm, cool, collect, rather than forceful, and it's de-escalating. So just bring yourself back into a calm, meditative state, perhaps, and the little things that aren't important, just push them aside and just say they're not important. That's not what it's about. Again, and I know I say this so often, but what's most important are your core values. So stick to those core values, and that's what's going to. You see this card, and you have the little bird on the back of it, and it's kind of like that little bird. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back, but the little bird really isn't adding any weight to it. It's just hanging along for the ride. So ask it to fly away. That sounds simple enough. It's kind of a funny way of putting it. So whatever's happening within this relationship for you, there's been some illusions or disillusionment. There's been some question about somebody being not as open or honest, deceitfulness perhaps, and so that needs to be cleared up, but it's very faint. It's not as though they're doing it on purpose. And if you understand trauma, you understand that all trauma comes from, a young age, and it's going back to that place of trauma and healing it and dealing with it. And we all have to do it, or we keep responding from, or reacting rather than responding from a good position. So it's time to release and really move forward with joy. And it can be a slow process, but every movement forward is a good process. And as you unravel all of the illusions, you're going to get a completely different perspective of what's going on. And all of a sudden that bird could fly back and you could see that he's sending you a message. So it's to open up, to stay open, stay clear, rid yourself of baggage, don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. So that's it. That's what you're resisting, is just feeling stuck and being stuck, staying in that stuck state. You don't need to do that. You are staying in the stuck state. It's time to move forward. Okay. So I'm going to, as I said, I was going to use different decks. So the card of the yin, the yang. And so the masculine is on this side. So I'm using the romance angels for this, the male, the female, and what balances those two. On the male side, it's calling in your soulmate. Wow. So really, this person is trying. So where you think there's no movement, perhaps, where you think everything is stagnant or isn't, they are really trying to manifest this relationship. Either they're trying to change themselves, but maybe perhaps they're just realizing it and understanding it. Maybe this has been through this, pandemic that's been so insanely crazy that we often can't see ourselves outside of it. So the world has changed, and it has, but they are working on themselves. So what balances on your side is codependency. Wow. Okay. So it's to see that codependencies are in regards to addictions, and that's addictions of so many different types. Addictions to, what other people are saying, or needing to know what's going on ahead. Always trying to find, sometimes people will say, oh, I'm going to look for a sign, and whatever that sign is, it's going to be the sign that you wanted. So don't try to fit something into your situation. That makes you codependent upon something. So if you're hearing something, if you are watching something, like you could be watching a TV show and all of a sudden realize that you've kind of put yourself into this sort of role that sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but you put yourself into this role that perhaps the person in the show, like you're not responding from yourself, it's from a codependent on something to give you the answers, but you're only looking at the answers that you want. You have to look, or you want to see, and that could be on both sides. You could be wanting to see, oh, he's not going to be in love with me, or he's just going to hurt me, or he's just going to, walk all over me, whatever that is. It's for you to, did I show you this? This is calling in your soulmate, and this is codependency, and this is what's, say, challenging, what needs to be balanced on both sides, is that as they're calling in, you are listening to whatever are doing, and it could be even alcohol, it could be overworking, it could be a lot of things that instead of having to face that relationship or face all of the things, you need to be completely clear so that you're just responding from within yourself. Okay, so the meditation card that I'm going to pick, and I'm going to pick some wisdom cards with that. Wow. Okay, so the meditation card that came up is amazing, and it is the card of trust. And that's really, it very much aligns with calling in your soulmate and codependency, and even being stuck in the mud. So you may think you're stuck. Maybe this has taken way too long. Maybe perhaps this has taken a year. Perhaps this has taken 5 years, 15 years, 25 years, however long. There may have been, delays along the way, but there's been a reason for those delays, and you've got to work through those things. We all have lessons that we have to work through, and again, I'm going to go back to the past trauma. If there's no trust, if you've been, or one side or both sides have been on relationships where you've been hurt, or where you've been, maybe you've been dependent upon, and you're also not looking for that as well. So when you do meditation, trust in spirit, trust in your guides, trust in what you do absolutely 100% know, and move forward in that vein. So the two messages that come here is wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. Really what this card is saying to me, and it's on the masculine side, is that this energy of wanting the most out of, got to think on that one, sorry. The other side is, okay, I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. So we're talking here about abundance and love and joy, and being committed to these things. And abundance isn't about greed. So perhaps when this person is really wanting to do a lot for others, or they have really been focusing so much on themselves that their energy is shifting to putting more effort into giving more, to being kinder. They may be in a place, again, where they feel stuck. And because the relationship does feel stuck, but that's because their energy isn't, they've got their energy on, finding their soulmate, which is really good. But then, trying to be this certain person. But if you're not being the person that you need to be within your core, then you're not creating abundance and prosperity. And, this person really needs to, he is a person that, does a lot for others, that puts a lot of energy. I think this person really wants to put more energy into others, but I keep hearing that this person may have been hurt at some point, And so it's almost, they do want more for others, but there's a fear attached to it. And so they have to really change that radiance and release the fear and trust, completely trust. And on the feminine side of this, this is about recalibrating energy and committing to love and to joy, to the innermost core of who you are, and not about people pleasing. Is really not a bad thing when you're doing it for the right reasons, and it's always confirming your commitment to the love and the joy. Okay, and the next card from the Women's Oracle. Yes, okay, so we're coming back to this law of attraction. I love the creative adventure that is in my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. Now, I know this is on the masculine side, and it's about wanting more for others. So this is about what they really truly want is attracting, and they have to become more aware of what they're putting out there in order to receive back. And that's just being, aware and mindful of our energy centers. Wow. And on the feminine side, it's the flow of partnership. The ebb and flow of relationship takes me where I need to be next on my path. So this is beautiful. As you commit to love and joy, as you trust, you're learning that the ebb and flow and all relationships are, there can be good points. And then all of a sudden there's a point, excuse me, my nose again. There's a point, with the runniest nose. Careful, it's going to run away on me. You're needing to focus just on the love and the joy and the flow of the partnership. It's not always just one road this way. It's an ebb and flow and an ebb and flow. It's getting to know one another. And that's where this relationship really needs to head to at this point, is getting to know one another. So the card in regards to the body energy, okay, is the card of the butterfly. So this is about the butterfly. So this person is changing in a manner that is quite beautiful, that is now willing to share their beauty. But I'm also hearing that they want to share your beauty with others as well. So that's actually very interesting. This is about beauty, and it's about coming out of our cocoon and really opening up and expressing who we are. And the other card, which I keep getting coming to me, is the Rainbow Prince. Oh, this card has come forward for me every day now. And the Rainbow Prince is about perseverance and being compensated for that perseverance, that trust, that level of trust. And that's outside of the fear, outside of the lessons, all the lessons that have brought you to the truth. And so you have this magical gift within you, this manifestation, this magical gift that is willing to go to bat for you. You have guides behind you, like just creating this beautiful aura and trying to shed this light within. So you're both having this as they've changed, you have persevered through that. That's what's going to be rewarded. I don't mean to laugh as much, but okay. And in the position of your noggin, your mind, what's in your thoughts is the frog, and that's about releasing emotional baggage. So how much more clear could that be? This is going in, digging into our psyche and saying, what's been holding me back, and what do I need to, what baggage do I need to rid myself of? And that's where they're at. They need to rid themselves. So they're in the right place to transform, to change, to understand this law of attraction, to trust, and to get rid of what doesn't serve them, doesn't lead them on the pathway. And let's say they have, been in a relation or are in a relationship with someone else. I think they're coming to realize that this isn't the relationship that they want. It's the relationship that was easiest. And that's what they are, because of trying this to make everyone happy. That is also codependency, completely codependency. So, oh my God. So the card in the next position is the Sacred Union. This is the card of partnership, of romance, of moving forward, of a recommitment of the relationship. But this is now taking all this emotional baggage and ridding it, so you have space in your mind to actually get to know each other. That's really kind of running so much within me, is really getting to know one another. Okay, so the position of the heart is, the first one is forgiveness. That's quite beautiful, I would have to say. And I'm going to say that okay, I'm going to do both at the same time. Forgiveness and the Swan Queen. Okay, so this is so much about transformation. You both are on this path that has really transformed, and you're ready. You are ready, and where you feel stuck, it's that emotional baggage. It's that thought of allowing in energies, whether they be from a TV show, YouTube, I don't know, Instagram, whatever it is, but it's not cleansing and clearing and saying, does this really relate to me? So there is a lot of forgiveness that has to come within these. And I don't know why, but I had these mushrooms growing outside of my house, and I really, really don't like them. I don't know, they just bother me. Phobia, sort of. Not all mushrooms, just these do. They're just little, whatever, I can't talk about. And mushrooms grow in the dark and in moisture. So moisture represents water, which represents emotions. Okay, and in the darkness. So this is the darkness of our soul that we are needing to forgive. And forgiving others as well, forgiving this person as they went on their own journey of the darkness of the soul. So this transformation is you coming forward and becoming more patient, more forgiving, more understanding, and completely using your intuition. Using your intuition, using the gifts that you were given, using your sense of knowing. So what messages does this person have for you? This is from the Hermit Tarot, and she has a page, and it's called Hermit Tarot. She's brilliant and hysterical. Anyways, I love her. Okay, so the first message is, I'm open to compromise. Okay, so perhaps that's where it needs to start, or where you need to see. Listen to yourself. Are you open to compromise? If they're open to compromise, just ask. Oh my gosh. Okay. Tell us how you really feel. I imagine you naked. Well, that's definitely a good sign. Although, when I think about myself naked, it's not too exciting. But anyways, next message is, yes. Just yes. Yes. So it's time. It's time to lead. It's time to, that's a great big yes. Next thing they would say to you, oh, but this is their fear coming back. I sometimes wonder if you care. So what they do is, and this could be you as well, And that could be the dependency. So because of this ebb and flow and relationships come and go and there's a transformation. So sometimes when these things happen, we start self-doubting and questioning, and that becomes the codependency. So you're not living from your side. So you seek outside influences. That sets you back on that spiral that you don't want to take. And the spiral here, oh, this is the one, is just sending your wishes out into, that says sending your wishes out into, oh no, I see a lion, out into the universe. But it's also very much reflective of grounding. Make sure you're grounding yourself. And that means grounding yourself in your values. And if you don't trust, then you're not getting anywhere. So and then he says, reach out. So interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So now I have I love this, my magical wish box. That's my magical wish box. So we're just going to I have a couple of, so the basis of this relationship at this point, is the 3, which is about celebration. It's about it coming together. It's about mind, body, spirit. Actually, I listened to Gabor Mate, and he says there's 4, and there's mind, body, spirit. I think I can think of the 4th one at this moment, but it's emotions, because our emotions are so much brought into it. So this is mind, body, spirit. But I believe if you balance that, it's the triangle. It really is having a balance within one another. And that's what you two are seeking. You're both seeking to find the balance, striving to be at the balance, striving to understand. So, this is about union and celebration. And so sit in that energy, sit in that formation. And these are, we have, Cupid's arrow and money. So what's coming forward for you is Cupid's arrow. And you know what, if you're worried about finances at this time, or finances being part of, if you are worried about, I always say, when people say, well, we just don't have the money to have children, or we don't have the money to get married, and blah, 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 those things that they say, I just say that's an excuse. If you want to be with somebody, then be with them. Okay, so I forgot I needed to do the last card, and the last card was wrongful advice. That is very clear, that about what I was saying before, is listening to messages that just cause havoc in our brain. Stop listening to them, okay? So I have now, this is so beautiful. I've got these new little stones, and this stone says grace, but it's a butterfly, and that's helping to, we had the butterfly in the beginning, but this is also about gracefully gliding through the mists of illusions. And so keep that energy. Go out and get her butterfly. I had a monarch butterfly fly through my yard yesterday. It was so beautiful. Okay, so messages. Nobody understands me like you do. There may be a karmatic situation that they had to clear out in order to move forward. And they really do wonder whether or not you've moved on. So perhaps that's just something to remember. There's might be both sides. They do know that they hurt you. Perhaps you hurt them as well. Well, they have a lot within their mind. They need to empty out this whole business of their journey, and where they're moving forward to is they really do need to work through their self-doubts, their questions, their what their accountability is for some of the guilt, shame, blame, and all that stuff. Okay, so questions that you can ask yourself just as a change up. And I think we should always, when I work with my clients, I work with them, and I love to ask them one question to think about. So right now, and in regards to this relationship, what are you most looking forward to within a unity of the relationship? Okay, that's the first question. What are you most looking forward to? Next one. Oh, who is your greatest mentor, dead or alive, that you are most grateful to? Who is your mentor, a mentor that you are most grateful for? And so perhaps that message is coming out, being shown to you, so that you can go back and take a look at perhaps what some of their energies and what it is that attracted you to their energies. I think that may be very important at this time for you. Okay, pile one, that is it, and I'm going to put all my cards away and then get into pile number two. So thank you very much. Pile number one, if you like my channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Watch the video. Kind of funny. Funny. And then I can move forward with me messages. Oh. Okay, pile number two. Hello. Hi, pile number two. Welcome. That's this incredible pyramid that begins with honest healing and truthfulness and changing our vibration, that are just recognizing that connection. Like, just wow, it's just spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Okay, so I'm using quite a few decks to work through a relationship, and this is the card that wants to come out, so we will choose that card. Okay, so pile number two, what's being resisted? Wow, okay. Okay, what Spirit is saying immediately to me is there is a resistance within this relationship, either a miscommunication, there's a misunderstanding, there's not seeing the truth or the honesty within something. It really feels as though the relationship is coming apart. And so rather than taking that knowledge and just releasing it, letting it go, but come to that point where you can let it go for right now. Just realize perhaps it is the time for a separation within this relationship. And I'm not implying that the relationship will be separated forever, but that's why I believe that when we first saw this, it's to be grounded in truth. So you need to be honest with yourself, and sort of allow the relationship to move forward as it is most necessary to do so. Okay, so the card and the positions of the yin and the yang. And the first card is the Queen of Light, the illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. Okay, and that is balanced by the Lady of Lightning. Surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. Okay, so what I'm hearing, seeing, feeling from within spirit is really there is a lot of change. And so this has messages just come as they need to come. And this is much about the feminine energy, and there needs to be a change. And it's almost like a shakeup of either your life, of this relationship, but it's about honesty, complete honesty. But there has to be a shift in order for that to happen. But at this point, you're not willing to take that risk. And you have to, in order to do that, you have to realize that you are the enlightened being. That being enlightened, being aligned, being committed to your own journey, knows that sometimes relationships go through periods, or there's a time that they need to end. And so what's coming forward and needs to be balanced is the shift in, okay, Spirit just said, part of this is about what you do, is that anytime there's some sort of disagreement or there's an argument, you think they are gone. They are out of here, that's over, it's done with, blah, blah, blah. And that's insecurity. That is true insecurity. Where this is the queen of light that you need to be, which listens to your intuition. You're just thinking the worst and that it's all falling apart. And so the role that's necessary at this place in time is that of making a choice, of understanding that sometimes lightning does need to, this is so much about the feminine side, High Priestess, and understanding your intuition. You're not at all following your intuition. That's why this is with pile number 2. Honest to goodness, this is your connectivity to, and it has to begin with being truthful and honesty, and taking that avenue, taking that pathway which leads you right to this, a direct signal. The card in position of the meditation card is the High Priestess. Again, the High Priestess is all about discernment. It's about just being there. It's about vision, it's about prophecy, it's about understanding. You know what you know, yet you're blocking all of that, and you're kind of throwing it to the wind because you're responding in fear of what may have transpired, or what may have come from a traumatic situation, or come from, wherever it came from. But you have to release the guilt and the shame. And you just have to start discerning and listening to your higher intuition. Okay, so the cards that balance that on the male side is there's chemistry here. There is chemistry here. Oh my gosh, there's such chemistry. And so when you're meditating, you have to walk away from this place of feeling not good enough, or that, things are just falling apart, or you're out of control, and finding that light and being in control. The cards of our chemistry and honeymoon. These are what you need to be envisioning what you want, and maybe not do so with a certain person attached to that commitment. Perhaps just do it. Perhaps just do it from the perspective of, I have two thoughts going through my head at the same time. Of it being a specific person. Know what you want, ask, like the qualities, and ask for that. And the final card, yes, is that it's time to wake up. So when you are in meditation, in this high priestess state, it's so important that it's time to really awaken from the inside out and completely awaken and tune up to your truth. Truth talked about. Truth, honest truth, raw truth. Tune into your truth, your clarity, and your inner wisdom. That's a high priestess. Okay, so the cards that represent the heart, the body. The card that represents the body is the card of joy. So what's going to transform, and as you move forward, it's got to be, your body has to exude that joy. Rather than exuding fear, the things that you don't want to exude, you want to exude joy. And just having fun, just keep being yourself. No matter what has happened, you are being led towards happiness, happier times. So it's like you're leaving the past behind and you're moving in towards happier times. Okay, so that's these feelings of coming apart. Once you take a look at them, break them down, then you're able to begin to respond with the joyfulness. And the card in position of your noggin is the deer. I love this. This has to do with gentleness, diplomacy. This has to do with really seeing it's being open to compromise, and being open to with a way of really listening deeply and attuning into what you're hearing, and so that you can take away these thoughts that are, invading your sense of truth and self, and be gentle and kind to yourself. Oh, even better, the card of the heart. So this person that's coming forward, or that's within you, once you're getting, that's kind of what I'm getting to understand with this part of this group 2's reading, is the card of the dog. And dogs are loyal. They love unconditionally. And that's what they should be teaching us. We do have to train them, but we have to train everything. All it takes is gentleness, diplomacy, and honestly, a dog will be as faithful and as kind to you, and they'll always give you chance after chance after chance, because they love you. They just love you, okay? And so I do want to pick a couple more cards in this regard, and then we'll do messages. So, yeah, so we've got the breakthrough again, which is the same card as we had with the Lady of Lightning, is there's going to be a breakthrough. And it's like you're just completely bursting out of that shell, completely bursting out of the shell, and just being who they are, just being, yes, who you are, just being, because you can. And it begins by letting go of the control. You have no control over anybody else. You have to set the intentions. You have to, there's no manipulation. It's, you know what, I've been through a relationship for many years. I was in a relationship for many years that was very much based on manipulation. And I learned so much from this. I gained so much clarity. It still boggles my mind that people can be that controlling, manipulative. But it happens because you do allow it to happen. And I know that sounds sad, but I can look back for myself and I can see where I did allow it to happen. And I made choices. And so this is about letting go of the control and work on yourselves and keep in that joyful loyal, incredible space that you want to be in. But there will be a breakthrough. And it does take a lot of courage. I love this card so much. It's about courage. And it takes courage to move forward, even knowing that you might have been hurt, even knowing that, you know, you might get hurt again. But also knowing that this could be the greatest love you've ever experienced. So that takes courage, and to sit in that space. So their messages to you are, I sometimes wonder if you care. I find that to be an interesting question, but that's because you're not trusting, you're just assuming. So it's outside of that energy, is they need to be outside of that energy and just have that confidence in themselves. So if they're building up confidence, they're building up confidence. That's what they need to do. And so a fresh start is what is necessary and warranted. Next card would be think before you act. Okay, that's, you know, when we talk about control, when we talk about breakthroughs, we talk about lightning strikes, but really put some thought into there's a reconnection of where you're responding from, and if that's that place of love and not fear, you know you're in the right direction. So respond from a place of love and not fear, okay? Just give it a mindful thought. They are absolutely in love with you, point blank. So I just think the stories are just those that they tell themselves. Probably just, there was actually a line in, we will or tell ourselves things that keep us in that comfortable state rather than changing the energy. And so they think about you a lot, and they want to know, like so much is about is they want you to know, yet you need to both respond and react in that way. Be fully awake and alive, filled with joy, laughter, love, and let me hold you. And you can have, actually, if you can do this, get into a state prior to going to sleep at night, and you can get into a state of, it's just kind of like the somnambulistic states, it's just right before you fall asleep. In that state, if you can feel them, feel that energy that you would want if and when they are in your life, in your world, and hold on to that. And you can connect in the 3D, or in the 5D. And if you can then moving forward, stay in that state of awareness, that state of vibrational high of joy and love, then imagination is the first place where relationships begin. So you can connect with them in the 3D. There's just this beautiful, bright spot that I'm seeing in this. It's right in the middle, but I think this is it. I don't know if you can see it. It's just gorgeous though, but it really is much about you falling in love with yourself, commit yourself to truth, and being true to yourself. Okay, pile number 3. Hello, and welcome to my channel. And pile number 3 is this incredible stone, which reminds me of the beach and a holiday for some reason. Oh, it's got a pearl in it. May not be a pearl, but that's what I see right now. So there's a pearl in it, and a pearl could really represent for this connection to be something of very, you know what, I know what this stone is at the bottom, but I can't tell you what it's called. I have one myself, and it's an incredible stone. It's probably here on my desk. Okay, so today I'm just picking cards as I see fit, and they're all channeled messages, and I just listen to what Spirit has to say, and we're going to try to get to where this relationship is at this exact momento. Oh, I didn't do, okay. The card in the position of what you're resisting is following the leader. Okay? Either you, this person, someone in this relationship is not following their heart. They're following what other people say, what other people want them to hear, what other people think they should do. And it's fine having friends around with advice, but your own advice is the best advice. Plain and simple. It really is. Listening to your heart. So rather than just going with the crowd, step outside the crowd. I've never been a part of the crowd. It's sad but true. I was always different. So I'm not saying I didn't have friends. I still have friends. And I like to have fun. Sometimes too much fun. But I am definitely not a follower at all. So it's listen to your intuition, forget about time, and just go your own pathway, okay? So the two cards of of the yin and yang is what's going to balance this relationship first, is you need to give it a chance. This relationship needs to be given a chance. It's divinely inspired. It needs a chance. It needs an opportunity to grow, to learn, to understand. And the other side is faith, trust. And this relationship requires a whole lot of trust at this time. And I do believe it's on both sides, but I believe that once you two do give the relationship a chance, communicate, and I'm going to say protect and support and inspire one another, then everything's just going to completely change within the relationship. So the card of the meditation that I'm going to pick out is the Lady of the Lake, which is actually the Queen of Swords. Absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. And so I think I was talking about that. It is that this is about absolute truth from this place of unique, your unique abilities, your gifts, your strength, but based on who you are. And so, holy, I actually have never gotten this card out of here. The second meditation card is the Eagle, Spirit, Integrity, Connection to the Angelic Realm. I believe I said. So here we are. This is the card of the Eagle. I am the Eagle Spirit. So we have the Lady of the Lake, which is truth and honesty. And then we have the Eagle. Now, this is so important because when you're in meditation, to connect to your spirit guides, your spiritual community, your past ancestors. They just envelop you, and they bring you such peacefulness and beauty, and they can bring guidance, tools, inspiration to move you in the right direction, to seek and to act from that absolute place of truthfulness within yourself, not following others, yourself. And this strength, but different perspective, interesting. So the eagle is a leader, and we will follow the leader. So you are a leader. But that's because what you do is, rather than following the leader, you follow spirit. I'm kind of getting a sense this is really much for me on this this reading, just because of some of the messages that I'm getting. So I am trying to really step outside of my ego on this, which has never been difficult before. And so, okay. What you need to meditate on as well is this golden palace, is what you want, where you want to go. You need to envision it. You need to not see it as a pretend or just a wish. It's an intention set. And so knowing what you want to build completely. And this is so, if you look at this golden palace, it is so set foundationally. That clarity is incredible. And I'm going to roll this and see. Oh, foundation. Okay, foundationally, number 4. It is set foundationally. And so this relationship is going to come together because of the honesty, because of the connection through. The angels are trying their darndest and open up rather than following others. Envision that, encompass that, be that. Okay. And I do these dices. Okay. Money always seems to be, there may be an issue with money, but the reason when that comes up, I'm saying that you got to stop worrying about the money. It's not the money that's important. Perhaps the money is going to come when you're a partnership. So stop. Oh, that's why. So this darling here, and this is like, to me, forgetting to fill your own bucket up. We can often say, we give and we give and we give, but we'll often forget about ourselves. And you need to remember yourself. You are the important one at this point. Sorry, I'm just trying to look it up on this little book I have. And I can't find it. Oh. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. Because I can't. So it is about filling your own bucket back up again. So giving is an incredible gift, and do so. And that's what brings forth, because you also have to receive. Okay, so it's an exchange. Everything is an exchange of energy. So people that don't, like, they'll give other people for sure, but they will not receive. And if you can do the both sides, that's important, because other people need to give as well. That's part of the kindness. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's where it's at. So just one more card in regards to what you're meditating on, because it's also all taking you towards a meditation that is joyful, positive, seeing the relationship, having faith. And this card that came up was, and it's got a hawk here, and it's savoring the positive. I allow myself the spacious savoring the delicious gifts in my life. So this is about receiving and making sure that you're going to be okay. So giving and receiving. So not pushing against that. Also not being part of the crowd. So step outside that box. There is no box. There is no box. There is no box. I remember many years ago, I had sorry, finding cards. I had a poem, "You go your way and I go mine, and if by chance we meet," is beautiful. And I think I read that, where I was living at the time, so I know I was 7. And that made a huge impact on me. And then when I was a little bit older, people have always sent me poems. I write poetry as well. And one of my best friends from St. Louis, Missy, she sent me a poem, it's Desiderata, and it has sat with me forever. It's funny that even at those young ages, that was important to me at that time. And again, I say I had my first seance when I was 8 or 9. And that's because I figured, you know what, if I'm going to see spirit, I might as well like kind of invite them in and kind of see where they're going. See who wants to appear, ask them who they are. So I started asking who they are. Okay, anyways, it's savoring the positive. Being positive within your life. And yes, I get off track. And yes, I talk too much. Wow. Okay. So the card which within your body describes the essences that flow within your body, their body, within this relationship, and it's the card of the mountain, and it's also a 6. 6 is the number of love, but this is a mountain. And here's the thing: it seems like it's such a struggle. Okay, the pathway that other people have taken isn't the pathway that you need to take. Got it? That's what this card is saying. It says follow the leader. This is saying they will go through the mountain. They will, spirit will shine light for you. Other people haven't traveled that way because other people haven't seen that. You see things that are available. This could even be talking about you see things within this person. They may see special things within you, but it's that energy within yourself, knowing, trusting completely that this is. Because your intuition with the eagle spirit is right on target. Bossy spirit. Okay, there is such a change going on within the minds, and this is the mind of coming together. So we have a metamorphosis. Is that the word even on there? I didn't know that. But there's the butterfly again, and the flamingos, which form an incredible heart. My nickname as a child was the pink flamingo because I love the color pink. But this is a metamorphosis, and this is the metamorphosis within your mind. And I'm not going to say noggin this time because this is completely within your mind. And I know, like, I read a ton, and they're all on trauma. I mean, that's what I do for a living, so I do. But the mind has always, the mind manifesting and alchemy have always been so intriguing to me, and I love to talk about, to learn different ways. Like, don't tell me I can't do something because I'm going to do it. And so there's a complete metamorphosis that's going through your mind right now, and going through your mind and changing, and you're learning so that you can those changes that you're both making on separate levels is going to bring you together. Woo! And the card of the heart is spirit of place. Home is where the heart is. My next favorite saying is find your place of peace and go there often. And I have had many places of peace. One of my favorite places is a place I went to 2 weekends ago, and I go there to find myself, find my space, and it's Cooks Creek, and my family is from there, and part of my family's from there, and the other place is St. Andrews, but it always takes me back to my ancestors. That's where I tend to want to go towards. And so the spirit of place, that's your heart. And so this is a coming together of hearts, a coming together of it's the emotional vibration that is within my heart right now is unbelievably passionate. It's really glowing. It's almost more energy than I feel that I can handle, but I know I can. But it's just such an incredible space to be in, and to allow that space to flow and to connect with all of the people around you. Whoa, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Thank you, Spirit, for that. And so I wanted to do 2 spiritual messages, and then we'll go to the Hermit. My super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy that I put out. So really, you are a super attractor, you know that, but super attraction comes from within. We attract from within, not from stomping, and that works as a child for a minute, and then we learn that it leads to anger, but it also, we learn that it doesn't bring us what we truly want, because we can't separate that if we really want it. So when we feel faith, love, and joy, and we exude that and put that out, like I said, that feeling that I had, it's just unbelievable. So the next card is I slow down and listen to the guidance available to me. Spirit wants you to, they're sharing messages with you. Take the hint. Listen when Spirit is trying to talk to you. Okay. I'm going to say, don't tell group 2 this, because I forgot to do these. And so I'm going to pick a couple one of the overall energy within this relationship, and it is, healing hands. I liked it the other way. It looked like an owl, but it's healing. I picked these up yesterday. I love, and I'm going to get more because I can. So healing, and that's with the Metamorphosis. That's with the Savoring the Positive. That's with owning your own journey. It's when you clarify what you truly want from life or from a relationship, from life, and being honest about that. If you look back at past relationships, it can often show that you haven't asked for what you wanted out of either fear, trauma, whatever that is, but it's time to be honest and ask for what you truly, truly want and deserve. Okay, so 2 questions that I'm not gonna leave you with, because I still have to give messages. So a question that you can ask okay, this is perfect. What are your top 5 personal values? That's a really good place to start. And so my super attractor power comes when I feel my faith and love and the joy I put out. So know your personal values and put that out. And that's when you bring forward. And number 2, what is your happiest memory? When we often focus on what we don't want, or sad memories or bad memories, or whatever you want to say about that, it takes us, sets us, rather than healing it, like we can go to a memory, instead of healing it, we let it sit. We need to heal it, and that's why healing was so important. And so the next thing to think about would be, how would you describe your future in 3 words? I don't think it could in 3. Master manifesting, true love, and happiness. Okay, that's 5. Just the way I work. Okay, so if this person could say anything to you, what would they say to you? First message is, my life started when I met you. Okay, so they really are enamored with you. The second message was, do you even care? I don't know why that message comes up so much, but that message to me is always one of self-doubt and them following not their heart, or following their own rules, listening to others, not listening to the true story. That's what needs to happen, is truth, honesty. There needs to be a shift, and a powerful shift, and transformation, and taking the route that Spirit is guiding you towards. Oops, they don't care. They care about you. You care about them, because they're going to want to have sex with you. Sorry. You bring them light and joy. That is beautiful. You are the light. You are the light. Oh my God, Lori. Okay. And the final card would be, I lie awake, thinking about our future. Guess what? Me too. And oh, and yes. Yes needs to come out. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. And I hope I given you a little bit of insight or things to think about along your journey with your person. And I do hope for you and wish for you all that you truly want and deserve. So have an amazing day. Again, if you like my video, then please subscribe, like, watch it, do all the things you need to do. Okay, have an incredible day.